Alright guys, today we've got my brother's 2011 Outback 2.5i Limited CVT transmission. It's got 185,700 and some odd miles on it. We're going to do a little bit of service work today, oil filter change the gear oil in the front and rear differential. It's a little bit different on the front differential on the CVT transmission. I haven't done that before, so that'll be a separate video. We're going to do a general overview today, just doing everything, and then I'll have a separate video just for the differential service, because that's the only thing that's really different and I haven't done a video on specifically yet. I noticed his coolant was a little low in the reservoir. We're going to top that up. When I drove the car over here, I noticed that there was some rough idling when I'd come to a stop, and also when I was coming from a stop starting off. So I'm going to check his throttle body. His throttle body probably needs to be cleaned. Once we do that, we'll probably need to do a idle relearn. I'm probably going to make a video on the idle relearn process for the drive-by-wire throttle body as well, because I haven't done one of those yet. It's pretty simple to do. We're going to do a tire rotation. Tires have not been rotated since he bought the car, as far as I know. And just general, look the car over, see if we see any issues. On the way over here driving, I might have heard a little bit of wheel bearing issue, but not sure. Might take it to the shop, put it on the lift, have someone drive it, go around with my stethoscope. That's the easiest, fastest way to pinpoint a wheel bearing issue. I know not everyone has a lift or access to, or has actually someone to help them while working on a car or diagnosing a car, but that's the quickest, easiest, safest way I found, is just put the car up on the lift, or if you're in a pinch, you can pick it up on jack stands. You'd want to pick it up higher than this, so you don't have to have a worry of the tires accidentally making contact with the ground while driving the car and launching it off of the jack stands, potentially crushing or killing you. So that said, we're going to get into it and start doing the service work on this Outback. Starting off, first things first, we're going to go ahead and do the tire rotation. While doing this tire rotation, it's a great time to take a good look at your tires. Look at the tread, see if you have any uneven wear, any cupping, any feathering on the tire, any kind of damage. Check the tread depth. These tires are nearly new, so no issues there. You can look for any dry rot cracks, anything starting to come up. Also look for any foreign object damage, any screws, nails, anything else like that that might have punctured the tire, where you can go ahead and get that patched or plugged. But not seeing anything on any of these tires, so we're good to go ahead and bolt them up and torque them back down. All right, wheels and tires are back on the car. We'll leave them until we get it back off the jack stand, and then we can torque them to specification. From here, we'll go ahead and start on the oil change. All right, had to switch to the GoPro since we're underneath the car and got less clearance. Move our 14mm oil drain plug. We'll let her drain out. One thing I miss about the old 17mm drain plugs that were mounted on the side of the oil pan, they didn't leak on any components of the car. These, the last run of the EJ253, and I believe the new F-Series as well, drains fairly cleanly until it gets down to a dribble and then coats your sway bar, which is rather annoying. As that slows down to a dribble, we'll prepare our new Subaru OE gasket crush washer for our drain plug, which is part number 8039161010, which is the new smaller diameter for the 14mm plugs. I can't remember off the top of my head what the one was for the old 17mm plugs, but this is the newest design. All right, new crush washer is ready. The flat of the washer goes against the ledge here on the head of the bolt, and your rounded over edge goes towards the oil pan. All right, now comes the fun part, trying to play a game of Operation with the exhaust manifold and grab our oil filter. So our simplest, least painful way to get that oil filter out is an oil filter cup. It is a 65mm with 14 flats. Just pop our cup on an extension. Or more or less put it on the filter, then the extension into it. Actually, that might be the wrong one. Okay, there we go. The Subaru OE filter is a 65/67mm 14 flat. The filter I'm putting in, replacing it with, is 65 14 flat. So pop that on our filter, put our extension in it, and turn it right off of there. Pull our cup out of the way so it doesn't get full of oil. Get our pan in position and hopefully don't coat the GoPro in motor oil. And go ahead and spin her off. Really didn't like this design either, because when you remove your oil filter, you coat your exhaust manifold in oil. So after an oil change, you got oil burning off the exhaust and smoke, and yeah, not great. Still nice and warm. Ooh, a little too warm. All right, now that that's off, try to clean up the area, get as much of the oil off the exhaust as possible. I'd normally take some brake parts cleaner and clean this off, but unfortunately I'm out and didn't realize that, or else I'd have bought a case when I was at Advanced Auto Parts earlier, getting the supplies to work on my brother's car. We're just gonna have to clean as well as we can with the rag. All right, fresh engine oil is in our new filter. Go ahead and snake it up in there and spin her on. And just snug it up hand tight. No need to super over tighten it. So we'll go ahead and clean up a little more under here and go top side and fill it up with oil. All right, we got a drain plug tightened up. Our oil filter we pre-filled with oil since the orientation is straight up and we don't have to worry about any spillage, and to limit any kind of lack of lubrication on startup, we'll go ahead and pre-fill the oil filter. Pop the radiator cap off, check that radiator is full. Snug that top hose up, it looked like it was backing off the radiator. Our overflow was low earlier when I checked it. See if it's come up any. No, we're still at the low mark. So we're gonna go grab some Subaru super coolant, top this up, and we'll go ahead and put our 4.2 quarts of oil. Conventional 530 CarQuest brand is what I use in all of mine. Never had any issue. I see absolutely no reason to waste money on synthetic motor oil. Newer F-Series engines do call for synthetic, so run the synthetic when Subaru says to run the synthetic, but in the old EJs and EZs, conventional is just fine. People ask me all the time about switching to high mileage engine oil, and you know, I got 291,000 miles on the LL Bean now. Patches has 290 on it since the clutch replacement. Caught up a little bit on the mileage to the LL Bean. The red SVX has 230 on it, I believe, and we're at 180. Right at 186 here on my brother's. Always just run CarQuest. Before that it was Advanced Auto Parts brand 530. If I recall correctly, it is just Valvoline oil, restickered. I just buy it by the case full. Never had any issue. Never had issue with oil consumption with any of my Subarus. And never had any issues with needing a higher mileage engine oil. I'm gonna look on the bottle real quick. I'm pretty sure that the Advance brand was Valvoline, but when Advance bought CarQuest out, I don't recall if it changed or not. Not seeing any markings on the bottle. I do recall though that the black and red Advance oil said Valvoline on it. So we got 2 quarts in. Starting our third. Again, for those interested in the AST Subaru oil fill funnel, this thing is awesome as you see. Just screw it in place of your oil cap. You can chunk your bottles in there and let them drain. No worries with the oil funnel tipping over or spilling as you're trying to fill your engine back with oil. It's a great little tool, and I believe under 20 bucks. So all you DIYers, really a great tool to add for your Subaru maintenance. And number 4 going in. All right, so capacity on this is 4.2. We probably have at least 0.1 in the filter. So what we're gonna do is probably leave this here for now. After we get the differential service complete and get the car back on the ground, we'll start the engine, let it run for a couple minutes, check for any leaks, shut it down, allow time for the oil to drain back into the pan, and we will top up as needed to get right on the money on our full mark. And real quick before I forget, we'll go ahead and put our supercoolant in, top up the reservoir. This is not Subaru supercoolant. It is Pentafrost A3 pre-diluted. It is the exact same thing as Subaru supercoolant, just the generic that you can get at the parts house. And will mix perfectly fine with the regular supercoolant. And to the full mark, all set. All right, we got everything ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and start the engine. Run it till the oil pressure light goes off. Run it a few more minutes. Look underneath, check the drain plug and oil filter, make sure they're not leaking. We'll shut it down. Wait 3 or 4 minutes for all the oil to get back in the pan, and check the oil level and top up as needed. I'm probably going to run around and torque off the lug nuts. Alright, all of our lug nuts are torqued just as we start getting some oil smoke rising out of the engine bay, all that oil burning off the exhaust manifold. Alright, just pop my head underneath before shutting it down. We have no oil leaks whatsoever, so we're all good on that. Just remembered I said I was going to clean the throttle body and do a idle relearn, but I don't have any brake clean and I don't have any throttle body or carb clean with me, so that will probably be moved to when we do this serpentine belt. Alright, we've let the car sit for a few minutes, let all the oil drain back into the oil pan. Now we'll check our oil fill level. Not sure how well this is going to focus. Probably won't at all, but we're just a hair below the full mark. So just going to pour in a little extra and we'll be good to roll. And there we are right at the full mark, and we are good to go. Well, there we are. I've about had it. I've melted out here working on this car, but we got our tires rotated, topped up our coolant, replaced the oil and filter, serviced the front and rear differential, and like I said, at a later date we'll be replacing the serpentine belt and cleaning the throttle body and doing an idle relearn for the little bit of a stutter stumble we're having coming to a stop and taking off from a stop. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.